Hello, hello, my lovely Cancer friends. This is a general love reading for September 2019 for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and of course Venus. I know a lot of you like to check out your Venus sign when it comes to love. So this applies for all of those placements. We're going to see what's happening in matters of love for Cancer, September 2019. And after I pull the messages for you from this deck, I'm going to go ahead and pull a really beautiful love message from a really pretty deck I have not used on this channel before, so stick around for that. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So your first card coming up here, my darlings, ooh, we have the Empress. This is really positive energy, okay? This is very, very fertile energy, okay? Very nurturing, very loving, very warm, okay? So some of you may be stepping into that Empress energy yourself, and you may be manifesting a very significant partner in the process. Those of you who watch my videos, you know, and you may have heard me say with the major arcana cards, when the major arcana cards come up for me as a reader in a reading between two people, it tells me that there's a soul contract. There's a reason why you all have met. There's a reason why you all have come together. And by looking at the contract, it will tell me, you know, what that reason is. And for me, the Empress card is really a card about thriving. It's really a card about, sometimes it could be a business that is really taking off, you know, connecting with your creativity. It's a card of like nurturing, motherhood, childbirth. It's a card about creation. Okay, so I wouldn't be surprised, Cancer, if a lot of you have been feeling the need to create something in your life, whether you've been connecting with your artistic gifts and abilities, or you've been wanting to start something new in your life, or some goal seems to be calling or like tugging at you. You might be doing this with an existing partner, and this relationship is becoming closer as a result, where you all are creating something together. You're not just partners in the relationship. You may be going into business together, or you may be going into parenthood together, or whatever it may be. You may be creating things artistically together, but there's a sense of creation that comes in with the Empress. Okay, so for some of you, this could be something in terms of actually physically, literally, you know, like babies being conceived, or, you know, pregnancies. And for other ones of you, this is going to be more symbolic, but this is going to be a big theme for you in your love life with your love partner. All right, so the next card we have here is Knight of Swords. So these changes are going to be coming in awfully fast, and it's going to be important that you keep your cool about you here with this. Sometimes with Knight of Swords, it can indicate for me that there's a situation where two people are fighting for control of the situation, or someone is rushing or hurrying or pushing the other person to hurry up and to do something their way. Not always the funnest energy. Sometimes some readers see Knight of Swords as drama, like somebody coming in with drama. So for some of you, it could be that there's a friend or a relative or somebody who's creating drama, right? And this is saying don't get pulled into it. Don't let this person interfere with your love life. They might mean well. That's my experience with Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords usually means well. They think that they're right. They think that what they're suggesting for you or telling you to do is in your best interest, but they're not always right, you know, but they're coming from, like, their heart is in the right place. A lot of the times that's what I've experienced with Knight of Swords. Some of you could be dealing with a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. It could be an air sign energy that's coming in. Some of you, I'm hearing or feeling, this could have to do with a child, okay? This could have to do with a child, especially with the Empress. Maybe some of you are finding yourself in a relationship where your parenting skills and your nurturing abilities are being challenged. And for some of you, this may not even be your child. This can be the child of a partner that you're hoping to have a long-term relationship with or marry or live with or whatever. It could be their child that's coming in and creating drama and creating tension. And so the fact that it's showing up as a Knight of Swords is giving me the feeling or the sense that here is your chance to kind of come in and be a hero in this situation. Because that Empress energy is very understanding, very nurturing, very loving, just sweet as can be. But she's still in charge, right? She still has authority. But Empress is going to figure out how to fix the situation in a way that's going to make everyone feel like they're thriving. So you may find a way to take this opinionated energy of this younger person or the drama that you're creating and help them and support them by getting started in a hobby or a project or something where they can put this focus and attention to use in a way where they're feeling heard, or in a way where they feel like it's kind of about them, or they're getting positive recognition for something that they're doing, right? Like, you're being supportive of this dream, or you're being supportive of them, joining this team or going to this camp or taking these classes or taking this training or whatever it might be, or learning this hobby or learning this skill. You're giving them a chance to get involved in something where they can feel like they're in charge of that situation. They can put their leadership skills to use, whatever it might be. So maybe you're getting them into something like, I don't know if it even exists. Oh my gosh, I'm a dinosaur. But I just heard ROTC, and some of you probably have no idea what that is. But when I was in high school, there was this voluntary elective where students could sign up like to do military exercises. It was kind of like, there were two divisions. You could like be like this junior cop, or you could be like a junior military honorary military thing, and then at some point once you were 18 you could actually sign on, or I don't know what it was. I was never in it. I knew people who were in it. But it could be something like that. But just something in some way where you're giving them a little bit more freedom, or maybe you're letting them get a job or try their hand at starting some kind of business, albeit that it be legal, something like that. I feel like you're able to help them channel it in a way where you don't have to deal with their drama, and they can be busy with whatever they're doing and still feel like a big shot and still feel like they're getting attention and being supported. Next we have here, also the Knight of Swords for some of you is going to be somebody from the past. They see you moving on and they're going to come in like, not so fast, what about me? So some of you may have an ex coming in that's trying to stir up drama, but don't get sucked into it. Don't get pulled into it. Your next card here is Ten of Pentacles. So this is telling us definitely that you guys are manifesting the kind of love relationship that you want. Ten of Pentacles is a card of manifesting, is a card of creating, is a card of bringing something into reality. Okay. It's also a card of financial abundance. So some of you have been really busy, and I think this also came up for Aquarius. I think it was Aquarius. Some of you maybe have kind of had your love life on the shelf, or you had it on the back burner, you had it on hold because you had a lot of goals about your financial security, and you'd been working really hard for your finances to get better. Or maybe somebody like had you on the back burner because they were trying to get their finances together. But Ten of Pentacles gives me the sense or the feeling that in September, this goal is being met. Like things are finally stable or getting stable enough financially that now love is taking the front seat again. Love is like now there's time for love. Now there's time for relationships. So maybe those of you who are in an existing relationship, you or your partner, you guys are learning to make more time for each other. Maybe you've been so caught up with work and your financial goals that now you're able to make time for each other. Some of you, like I said, it came up in the beginning. I do feel for some of you Cancers, there's some kind of joint business effort that's happening where you guys are spending more time together because you're creating something, you know. And maybe that's the whole thing with this stepchild or this child from a previous relationship. Maybe they're getting some kind of role in the business, or maybe they're being given a certain obligation or responsibility that they get to feel like they're a part of it, and they get to feel like they're getting to take charge in some way. But this Ten of Pentacles does make me feel that it's going to be abundant. It's going to be worth your time. It's going to be lucrative. I don't feel like you're meeting somebody through running a business, albeit that can happen for some of you. This feels more to me like an existing relationship where you guys are already together, but you have this goal to make this happen together. You know, again, these are general readings, so these cards are going to apply in different ways. And I try to go over the different ways that they might apply, okay? But I really do feel for some of you, this is going to be in terms of work. Some of you, I feel either you or someone that has their eye on you, or somebody that you're dating, they're receiving some kind of big bonus, some kind of big windfall of money that's coming in for the work that they do. So either they're getting a big bonus from work, or they're landing a really big client. There's like this big juicy bonus, this big financial amount that they're receiving. And I feel like they're wanting to take you away, like they're wanting to take you on a trip. So don't be surprised, some of you, if that happens. If somebody's like, hey, I've kind of come into some money, I want to treat you, I want to like get away for a little bit. I think that this is someone that also is realizing and seeing that you would be a very stable person. So not only are they wanting to treat you, and a part of them, maybe there's the big ego and they're wanting to show off, you know, like, look what I can do, look what I have, you know. But I also feel it's like they're wanting to get away with you so they can figure out, like, you know, how to improve the relationship, or, you know, to make things more serious, or to take things to the next step. They're trying to, like, they're studying you is what I'm trying to say. It's not just treating you, but like they're studying you. They're trying to figure you out. They're trying to like see if there's anything they need to be cautious of, or if there's anything that you've been hiding. Like they're trying to understand you better. They're trying to understand who you are beneath the surface. So I do feel that's coming up for some of you as well. Your next card here, my dears, is, oh my gosh, when this happens, I get chills. Woo! Sure enough, Six of Swords, that's traveling. That not only is it traveling, it's leaving drama behind you. Can we get a better like tie-in than with this card? I don't think so. We had the drama with the Knight of Swords. We had the situation with the travel that I was feeling or sensing. And now Six of Swords is coming up, which is like the honeymoon card, the getting away from drama, smoother sailing, you know, leaving conflict behind you, going somewhere where you can have peace of mind, have fun, you know, connect with your joyful energy. And again, like I said, this is travel. This card represents travel, sometimes traveling to another country, traveling over water. So I do feel, Cancer, don't be surprised if some of you, there's some kind of like a little like love getaway for you. I wouldn't be surprised. You guys will have to let me know, those of you that this applies, or those of you that this ends up happening for you. And I feel that this is a big deal, because as I'm looking at the card, I'm feeling like this big sense of excitement. Like I feel like you're going somewhere that you always wanted to go, or you always dreamed to go. Like it's, you manifested this without even realizing, and you manifested it with a partner, with a lover, with like a relationship. So I don't know, like it could be something very fabulous, like, you know, somewhere in the Mediterranean, or somewhere in Europe, or just somewhere that you really longed to go, somewhere that you considered or thought to be very romantic. But I feel like it's a big deal. Like you're really excited about where you're going. You're feeling like in some way that like, wow, like this is a dream come true. And then the angel is really jumping out at me here, this little angel here on the boat. So I really do feel like your angels are looking out for you. Like they're guiding this safe journey for you. Okay, so very, very exciting. The next card here is Two of Swords. So Cancer, Two of Swords is a card that sometimes comes up when we're having a hard time agreeing about something, or it could be a card that comes up when we're afraid to look at the truth of a situation. It doesn't necessarily mean that something bad is happening. It means that there's something that you're afraid to acknowledge, or there's something you're afraid to confront. And because the moon is jumping out at me with these dark clouds in the back, and this looks to me like a full moon, and the full moon is a time when a lot of like our heavier emotions come to the surface, I feel that as this relationship is going good and as it's becoming better and as you all are becoming closer, you might be very tempted to go back into your little crab shell and hide, because it might be triggering some of your insecurities. It might be triggering some of your fears, like, wow, I'm really liking this person, or I'm really feeling like things are better now, but I don't want to get disappointed. I don't want to get my hopes up. So you may be pulling away. Or for some of you, there could be something about these little triggers that are being hit that are making you realize certain things about your life that you need to change, or certain things that you've been doing that maybe have been sabotaging you in your love life. But now you're like, man, now I'm seeing in the mirror all the things I have to change. And you might be like, well, I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to address it. I don't want to make the changes. I don't want to think about it. If you don't address it, if you don't begin to release it, if you don't begin to work on it, my experience with the Two of Swords is it shows up a lot before the Tower. It's kind of like your warning that, hey, you know, like, you got to look at something, because if you don't, it's going to be an issue later. So I don't feel that Tower element for you. And like, and the Tower can also be positive, by the way, but I don't feel that Tower element for you in September. But I do feel like some things are coming up that you have to address. Do not run from them. So if you find yourself with insecurities that start coming to the surface, or fears or worries that come to the surface, or you know, ways in which you might kind of push somebody away because you're feeling overwhelmed, don't ignore these things. Address them, because if you don't, it can unravel or undo this amazing progress that's coming in for you in your love life in the month of September. Okay? Some of you, this travel, maybe you're not being invited by a love. Maybe you are going on this travel because you're coming into this money and you're getting this dream come true. You're having an opportunity to go visit a place you've always wanted to visit, and you may be meeting your love there. And then that can be like scary for some of you, because you're like, oh my goodness, like, wow, like, do I really want to let this person in? You know, there's just some fears that you're going to have to face. We're going to go ahead and take a look at your spirit message here around love from this other very beautiful deck. I really, really love the artwork in this deck. And as always, guys, I always have the information of the cards listed in the description of the video. So if you like the cards, if you want to go and get them for yourself, I always have a whatchamacallit? I always have a link. That's what you call them. You call them links. I always have a link to the cards. Okay, my darlings. Oop, here we are, Cancer. We have this beautiful artwork here. So go ahead and take a look at it. What is jumping out at you? What are you seeing? I see this couple in this embrace. But it's really funny because as you look at it, it's almost like a borderline wrestling. Like they might even be playing with each other. Like it might even be in it like a spirit of fun. But if somebody pushes too hard, then it's like, hey, wait a minute, watch it. Like you can end up, you know, hurting the other person, or you getting hurt. And so this to me feels, Cancer, like some of you have a really great opportunity for love in September, and you might be tempted to push them away, or you might do little things that kind of trigger them, or you might do little things to kind of like poke at them a little bit. And it might come off as you're doing it in a playful way, like you're making fun of them or you're razzing them, and like from a loving place. But it might go too far. And that's what I feel with that Two of Swords, is that there's something here that you might be kind of borderline pushing away this person or pushing away this opportunity. That's kind of what I see when I look at the card. Some of you might be like, nope, I don't see this card in that way at all. But you go ahead and you look at it and you see what's jumping out at you. You see how it's speaking to you, and you go with your intuition. Okay, my dears? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to flip this card around and see what the message is on the back. And it says duality. Open up to all the ways to bring new experiences into your life, particularly if you fear becoming bored or boring. So be aware, unless you're sure, you'd best admit you're insecure. If you cannot make up your mind, indecision is just fine. Make time for many, not just one. It's time for you to have some fun. So maybe some of you, there's somebody new coming in, but you're very afraid about locking yourself down into the relationship. And maybe you do have to allow yourself to, get to know other people or take it slow, okay? Maybe it's just you being able to speak up and say, hey, I really like getting to know you, but I want to take it slow, right? Or maybe I'm not ready to be exclusive just yet, or whatever it might be. It's okay for you to speak up. But if you don't address it, these insecurities or this worry is going to cause you to push this person away entirely. And you don't want that to happen. So it's up to you, Cancer. The ball is in your court on this one. It's up to you what you want to do. But you need to address it, because if you don't, there could be some tower moment where you lose the opportunity altogether. Whereas if you had addressed it, then you still have a chance to hold on to it, or to allow it to work itself out, or to allow this person to continue pursuing you or trying to win you over, or vice versa, or whatever it may be, okay? But I really, really feel like some of you are very tempted to push someone away, and I don't want you to do that. I'd rather you say, I need to take it slow, I'm not sure yet, than to, get afraid and do things that are going to sabotage you in the relationship. So watch your moon sign and rising sign video too. Watch your Venus sign if you haven't already. That could bring you a little more clarity. You may need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do for you. If you click on the Calendly link, you can schedule there, because these videos, after all, they're just general readings. So you may need a personal private reading. You can do that there. The cross-watcher videos, if you're watching because you're curious about a Cancer, but you're not a Cancer, I do cross-watcher videos. The ones for August are up. The September ones are going to be up in a couple of days, so keep an eye out for that if you're cross-watching. And don't forget, guys, watch your weekly forecasts. I know love. We all care about love. We all want to know what's happening in our love life. But don't forget about all the other important areas of life. That's why every single week I do a reading for all of the zodiac signs, just for them, their finances, their spirituality, their blocks that they're overcoming, their healing, the things that are coming up in that way. So I want you guys to be able to take advantage of that too. Don't forget yourself in the quest for love. So make sure you check out the weekly forecasts as well. And again, guys, I thank you for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, and I'm wishing you a fabulous September.